horror. I'm not really long time. Pictures are incredible. Loads and loads of drama. Hang on a second, this isn't what I ordered, but these sprayed edges, so in not an episode, are blue, red, not red, that's not red. Hi, I hope you are all really good. I thought it would be a really fun idea to go through every special edition book that I own. So recently I have started falling down the rabbit hole of buying special editions of books that I love and already own. So I thought it would be a fun idea to go through these in my video. Okay, so the first edition I have is Lessons in Chemistry by Bonnie Garmis. So this is the Waterstones special edition. It's got the spray edges and a gold like bookmark. It's got that like cloth cover and it's just amazing. The normal edition of this is also beautiful. I have got the hardcover somewhere, I don't know where. And it is really lovely. It's got like the periodic table on the like the hardcover cover. But when I saw this, I absolutely fell in love with it. And on the back it says your ability to change everything, including yourself, starts here. So that's like the little quote on that. I need to take the price off it, but it's absolutely gorgeous. I bought this because I saw it when I was in Waterstones, and previously, weeks before when I'd been in Waterstones, I don't live that near Waterstones, I'm like 2.5 hours away to my closest one, and they had a special edition of The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, and I didn't buy it even though I absolutely loved it, because I was like, oh, it's expensive and I already got it, and you know, I've already annotated my copy and everything like that. And then I have not come across it since, and I absolutely loved it, and I regret not buying it. So when I saw this and I absolutely loved it, I knew I wanted to buy it, so I bought this one. This is an incredibly good book. It is a historical fiction. It's very feminist. I'm not a historical fiction reader, but this book honestly changed my mindset. It was very popular for a while. It's amazing. It's a huge 5 stars. Well, all these books are huge 5 stars because most of the time I buy the special editions after I've already got a normal edition. I love this one very much. These characters are incredible. Yeah, as I said, it's one that sort of changes your mindset about things. I would definitely recommend it. I think it's one of those books that like is a must read for anybody across any genre that likes reading, basically. This is one of my more recent special editions. It is the collector's edition of Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. Again, it's got gorgeous spreads. On the back we have got No Mourners, No Funerals. This is one I have been looking for a really long time. When I read this book initially, I fell in love with it so much, and Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom is probably my favourite duology ever, and are certainly some of my favourite books of all time. And I really wanted these special editions, but they were sold out literally everywhere online, and I could not get my hands on them. So I've just been sort of sitting at some point hoping that I would manage to find some online that aren't crazy expensive. And then when I was last away, I went into a Waterstones down in Aberdeen, and I came across it, and I've never seen it in person before, and I absolutely fell in love. So this is, if you've not read Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom, please do. It is a YA, almost fantasy, but it's sort of like a heist story. There is some incredible subplots of romance. I would say the second book in the duology is even better than this one, but obviously you have to read this one for it to be as good as it is. The characters are incredible. They're some of my favourite characters of all time. It is so exciting. It does take you a bit to get into it. This doesn't really show how thick it is. If I had the paperback, I do have the paperback somewhere, it shows you how thick a book it is, but it is definitely worth it. Would highly recommend this one. Then I have got the Waterstones special edition of Happy Place by Emily Henry, which have got the most gorgeous spreads. And then it's got Happy Place along the spine. I don't actually have another copy of this. This was the copy I bought initially. I think it does have a bookmark in it. I don't know where it is. I just bought this initially. I think it must have been on offer, I think, and I was a huge Emily Henry fan by this point, so I knew that I was going to love it. This is a really, really good one. This I would recommend as a summer romance, but of course you can read it any time of the year. If you haven't read an Emily Henry, I would highly, highly recommend. This is probably one of my favourites of hers. It is primarily romance, but it's got so much more than that. It's just packed full of everything. It's pure escapism. It is, I'm trying to remember, I think it's like a fake dating, second chance romance type thing. There's a whole friendship group. There's loads and loads of drama. I would definitely recommend it. Then I have got the collector's edition of Nothing More to Tell by Karen M. McManus. Now this one was an accidental purchase. So when Nothing More to Tell, I'm a huge Karen M. McManus fan, and I've read everything that she has ever written and loved it. And so when this got announced that it was going to be released, I pre-ordered it on Amazon, and I was pretty sure that I just pre-ordered the standard edition. And then when it came on the day that it was released, this appeared. And I was like, hang on a second, this isn't what I ordered, but it's the collector's edition. And to start with, I was a little bit annoyed actually, because all of my others, she does them with the most gorgeous sprayed edges. Let me show you. So these are most of her books. I think I've got one somewhere else as well. And she does them with these like amazing sprayed edges. So I don't know, I don't remember what the sprayed edges for this was. I really wanted that edition, so I will need to get a standard copy of it, but at the time I was really annoyed that I got a collector's edition, but now I'm really quite happy about it. It's amazing. She writes incredible YA thrillers. They're short, they are quick to read, they are so fast paced with amazing characters. They're just really, really good books with little tiny subplots of romance. She is an author that knows what she's doing, and I will always read anything she ever writes. Okay, now this again is some of my more recent special editions, but arguably probably my favourite. So we have got A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson with these sprayed edges, which is absolutely insane. And on the back it says, "The case is closed, everyone knows he did it, but she's about to prove them all wrong." So that's this one. And then Good Girl Bad Blood, which is the second book in this series, also by Holly Jackson, obviously, with this amazing sprayed edges. On the back it says, "Pippa Fitzimobi isn't a detective anymore, but little Kelton hides dark secrets and she's going to uncover them all." So there's that one. And then there's As Good as Dead, which is a little bit thicker with, again, incredible sprayed edges. And it's the third book in this series, and it says, "Pip's back, and this time the case is all about her. Who will look for you when you're the one who disappears?" It is amazing. I am so delighted to have finished this. These are all the Waterstone special editions, so when I got the first one I was like obsessed with getting the rest. They look absolutely amazing together, with like all their spines together and everything like that. They are absolutely gorgeous. If you've not read this series, please do. And then you can watch the TV series, which is just recently out on, well, it was originally on BBC iPlayer, but it's now also on Netflix, so everybody can get it, hopefully. And it's a really, really good TV series. It is obviously not as good as the books, but it's just on the first book, so I'm hoping they're gonna make a couple more seasons for the second and the third book, because the third book is actually my favourite. But they do a really, really good job of it. The casting is absolutely perfect, and obviously they did leave some parts out of it because you can't have everything in this long a book in an episode, in in a TV series. But they did a really, really good job of it, so I'd highly recommend that. But obviously please read the books first. This book series again is a YA thriller about this girl called Pippa Fitzimobi. I would argue that her and Ravi are my favourite book romance couple, and this is not a romance book by any manner of means, but they are my favourite couple of all time, favourite fictional couple of all time. This book series is amazing. The plot twists are incredible. She has so many different characters, but it's not difficult to follow. You think you have mastered it, you think you can predict it, and she throws out these plot twists that you could never see coming in a million years. I love Holly Jackson, her books are just impeccable, and this series is one of the best series of all time. Now, I do have a special edition of Harry Potter, which I do think I've shown you on here before. It's sort of in the middle of my book series, so I'm just going to show you one book. In fact, I might show you two because there's two different editions of them. So I've got the Ravenclaw special edition, which all the books are blue, red, blue, red, blue, red. Not red, that's not red. They're all blue, black, blue, black. And so all the black editions look like this. And again, I've got these lovely sprayed edges, and then obviously the blurb on the back. And all the blue have got this on the front, again the blue sprayed edges, and the blurb on the back. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous set to look at all together, and I really, really am obsessed with it. If you can't tell, I'm a Ravenclaw girly. I'm a huge Harry Potter fan. I was watching it just earlier on actually. The film is good. I'm very mad about the fact that they're filming a series. But the films are really good, but obviously the books are incredible. They are probably my favourite series of all time. They're like my childhood. The books that got me into reading, really. So yeah, and I absolutely love rereading them. I've not reread them this year actually, but I think I've read them 2 or 3 times completely all the way through. Usually I reread them after finishing exams, but I was working this year so I didn't have a chance to. But I really, really love them, and I love that edition. And then we're going to be a bit controversial here. I would like to preface this by saying please do not come at me. I've had a lot of issue with this lately. A lot of people obviously with the movie coming out have gone back to the controversy that took over the book community years ago. I completely understand where people are coming from. I do know a little bit about the situation. I cannot claim to be completely informed about everything, but I do try. So please, no hate to anybody online that has difference of opinions. I think everyone's entitled to their same opinion, and you can disagree with someone, but you have to do it in a respectful way. I've seen a lot of people posting on Bookstagram about how much they have enjoyed the film and enjoyed the book, and I also enjoyed the film and very much enjoyed the book, and have received quite a bit of hate from just commenting on their videos to say that I agree with them. So I am planning on putting a reel out on Instagram to say that I did enjoy the film. I am a little bit concerned about the backlash I'm going to get for it, so please, no hate. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion, but I do have a special edition of It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover with incredible spreads. I don't have the dust, I do have the dust jacket somewhere, but it says it stops here with you and me, it ends with us on the cover, and it is lovely. It's like white and gold. I feel like everybody has read this book. Everyone has got their own opinions on it. I really enjoyed it, and I really, really enjoyed the film. I went to see it a couple of nights ago. It was amazing. They did a really, really good job of it. Obviously there's a lot of sensitive subjects dealt with in that film, but they do a really, really good job of portraying that and portraying it accurately and like the way that it needs to come across. I wasn't sure about the casting. When the casting initially got announced, I really, really wasn't sure, but they actually cast it very well, and the actors and actresses work really, really well for the characters that they are. Be very, very careful if you go into reading this book if you've not read it. I feel like everybody has. I enjoyed the book, I enjoyed the film. I do not support Colleen Hoover entirely, and I don't agree with everything that she's done, but I think you have to credit a good book where a good book is due, and along with many people in the book community, this was one of the books that got me properly into reading and got me started on Bookstagram and eventually on here. And we've got to give credit to that. And I think sometimes when an author, particularly a female author, gets too famous, society finds a way that author should not be as successful anymore. So I understand the controversy behind it, but everyone's entitled to their own views, and I really, really enjoyed it. I think it's a really important book, and unfortunately I've got close family that have experienced similar things to this book, and I don't believe that Colleen Hoover romanticizes domestic violence. I think you have to have properly read the book before you can make that decision, and I really, really don't think she has. I think that people say that she does, they have not read the book. And I know sometimes it is badly marketed, but that's got nothing to do with the contents of the book. Anyway, we've gone very, very controversial. I think that's me. I think that is all the special editions I own. I just thought this would be a really, really fun book video to do, because a lot of these are some of my favourite books of all time. So yeah, I'd love to know if you have any of these special editions or any other special editions of books, or books that you really want to get a special edition of. There is quite a few. If there is a special edition released one day, I will be snapping it up right away. So yeah, thank you very, very much for watching, and I will see you all soon for another video.